Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we are going to be comparing a 2022 Ram 1500 Rebel GT to a 2022 Ford F-150 Tremor. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Trailer Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with the Tremor, and also a huge shout out to the new owner of this Tremor for letting me review his truck for today's video. I'm going to include a link to his Instagram in the description down below. Let's pop right into the video. Now let's start things off by going under the hoods with both of the trucks. Starting here with the Rebel, we have a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. Now this one does have the e-torque Hemi, so it gives you another 130 pound-feet off the line, and it increases the fuel economy to 18 around town and then 22 on the highway. Popping over here to the Tremor, we have a twin-turbo 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 400 horsepower and then 500 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 16 around town and then 20 on the highway. And wait for it, well, that's under the hoods. Now let's go over the front ends of both of the trucks. So starting over here with the Rebel GT, we have the sport hood here with the venting that isn't actually real, but it looks real cool. We've got the 1500 logo here on the center venting, and then coming down below we've got the LED accent lights on the top and the bottom with the LED reflector lights there in the center for the headlights themselves. And then notice how the whole front end here is blacked out. You have the Ram logo there in the center, kind of under the little moustache part of the grille. And then we've got the fog lights down here, which are also LEDs, parking sensors here on the front end with the tow hooks on either side, and then we do have skid plates as part of the Rebel package. And that's everything for the Rebel. Popping over here to the Tremor, you guys will notice when I walk up to it, the lights turn on. This has the zone lighting, but we get this really cool accenting here on the hood with the venting. And then coming down below, you guys can see you got the LED accent lights here. This has LED projector lights for the headlights themselves, and then the accent light continues down here into the fog light area. And notice that we also have parking sensors here on the front end. We've got the tow hooks, which I love the coloration on them, and then we have the skid plate as well as part of the Tremor package. So both of them have aggressive off-roader type looks from a front end perspective. Now coming on the side here, we've got 18-inch wheels on the Rebel and 18-inch wheels over there on the Tremor. 275mm tires, also 275mm tires, 33s on both trucks. Now this particular Rebel has the air suspension here. If you don't have the air suspension, this comes with just regular 5-link coil suspension in the back end, but you guys can see the little canister there for the air suspension and just how aggressive the tires are. Now popping over here to the Tremor, you guys can see tires are just as aggressive, and this has a little bit more of a standard suspension setup. It has leaf springs in the back, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But as for the shocks, you've got monotube shocks in the front, twin tube in the back. The Rebel normally comes with monotube shocks as part of the off-road package. And let's actually pop here into the back so you guys can see everything. So you can see the setup with the leaf springs, all that fun stuff here for the Tremor, which makes it off-road ready. And then here for the Ram, well, it's got the wheelhouse liner, so you can't see much. But if we pop underneath, you can kind of see. It's also nighttime, so it's hard to see too much. But again, you've got the canisters in the back, so the air suspension is 4-corner. But again, you don't have to get that in the Rebel. That's optional. Anyways, also notice how aggressive the fender flares are on the Rebel. And then here for the Tremor, they just kind of have it molded. They don't have fender flares or anything, but we have a cool Tremor logo here, which again, I love the coloration on that. We have these off-road side steps that are the same as what you have on the Raptor. No side steps here on the Rebel. We do have a Ram logo right there. And then you guys can see here, we've got the F-150 Tremor badge here with the venting. I think that looks really good. And then you guys can see the mirrors. Now you guys will notice there's a difference in mirror height, and that's because the Ford window slopes down, as you can see. Whereas on the Ram, it's got more of like a traditional, like just straight edge window. And then finally, we have a GT badge. Now here are the key fobs for both of the trucks. You guys can see the functions on them are all the same. The key fobs look a little bit different, but they all have the same functions. Obviously the Ram has that for the air suspension, so I guess that's a little bit different. But all the important stuff is there with both of them. Tailgate drop downs, all that fun stuff. Now we've got 1,324 pounds of payload capacity over there, 1,490 pounds of payload capacity here for the Tremor, so quite a bit more on a payload perspective. But anyways, you guys can see here we have the measuring tables in the back, and then this one has the bed liner from the factory, Ford logo there in the center, LED lights, and then you've got an outlet here in the back. It's the LED light there on the other side, and I do believe we press the button right here. Look at that. Raises back up for us. So fancy. Popping over here to the Rebel, we do have a spray liner from the factory as well. We've got LED lights here in the back, which you can actually click on with this little button right here. Boom! Look at that illumination, and then you can click it on or click it off. Again, this one does have the tonneau cover from the factory, and guess what? You got to lift it up yourself. Oh boy. Now let's finish things up with the rears of both the trucks, and I've got the lights on so you guys can see that here in the rear, and I'll go over to the front again so you can see the lights on with both of the trucks. But anyways, you can see here with the Tremor, again, we've got the LED lights here in the back, and then notice we've got the little sensor there in the center, which is pretty cool. F-150 stamped into the bed. You've got the Ford logo above. You've got the Tremor badge right there, and then we've got the blacked out dual exhaust tips out of the back and recovery hooks here on the back as well. And then you have the receiver hitch there in the center. Towing capacity here with the Tremor is over 10,000 pounds. That's all that matters. Same thing with the Rebel. Anything over 10,000 pounds in a half-ton truck is just craziness. Anyways, you guys can see again, blacked out here in the center. You've got the Ram logo, and then you've got the Rebel badge, the 4x4 badge. Blacked out bumper, blacked out exhaust tips. The GT package does give this a sportier sounding exhaust. If you guys want to hear the exhaust in this truck, go watch my GT review. Receiver hitch down below, and well, that's all for that. Let's quickly head to the front, look at the lights, and then head inside. So here you can see the lights on, and I'll click the key fob there with the Rebel so you can see that, and then I'll click the key fob there with the Tremor so you can see that. Pretty cool with how those look from a lighting perspective. Now let's pop into the backs of both of the trucks. Now you guys can see here with the door panels, material use is actually really nice. I love the contrasted stitching as well. So some of this is going to be hard to see because of the low light, but the door panel is just very nicely designed overall. I love the look of the speaker for the sound system. Now here's the cool part, and it is the seats. You can see you've got the leather with the stitching that goes throughout the Tremor logo, and then notice that in the perforations you got the Tremor coloration inside there, piping here on the side. And then you can see you've got the vents here in the center, and then you've got all the charging ports as well. And then there is some storage underneath the seat on top of that. And legroom with both of these is ample. They're both pretty similar from a space perspective in the rear. But, so yeah. Coming over here to the Rebel, you can see the door panel is kind of a lot darker with the material use. Everything's kind of like darker in coloration here with the Rebel, but nice use of materials, and the speaker for the sound system looks great. Now, here are the seats in the Rebel. Again, you guys can see I've got this nice leather trim, but again, it's kind of just darker in coloration. You've got perforated leather here. You've got suede on the sides. You can see the rubber floor mats go across. Got heated seats here for the back. You've got the USBs. You've got the power outlet cup holders up above. Storage space underneath the seat as well. And with that being said, let's pop in the front of the Tremor, then go to the front of the Rebel. Now let's take a look at the door panel here with the Tremor. You can see really nice with the material use, just like we have in the door panel in the back. All of our window controls, you've got the mirror adjustments. This does have power folding mirrors, memory seats. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here are these seats with the Tremor. Really nice leather. You've got the Tremor logo here with the stitching, perforated leather all down the center. And you guys can see just how comfortable these seats look, and the bolstering and everything is very soft to the touch. Power adjustments just down below. And then you can see the pedals right there. We do have the pedal adjustment right here, the parking brake, light controls, all that fun stuff. And, well, let's pop in. Ooh, look at that. Everything's starting up. So here's the steering wheel. We've got the contrasted stitching there in the center portion. Really nice leather trim all around. Controls here for the center stack, phone controls, all that fun stuff. Volume controls, voice command controls over here with the cruise control. It does have adaptive cruise control. Turn signal / windshield wiper stalk. We have the full digital gauge cluster, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. I love the look of it, the stylization, all that fun stuff. I think overall it's just very nice. Now, we do have some different drive modes here for the Tremor. So we've got our normal, slippery, deep snow, sand, mud ruts, and then we have our rock crawl that we can go into. And then on the other side, we've got our tow haul, eco, and then we have our sport mode as well. And it'll kind of change the gauge cluster depending on which drive mode you go into. And then up here, we have this for the camera system, and then this is for the parking sensor, stability control, and this is kind of like an off-road climbing assistance, kind of like an off-road cruise control in a sense. And then this does have the full 360 camera system, so you've got camera views out of every single angle here on the truck, including the bed. Resolution with the camera system is fantastic as well. And so yeah, overall, it's just a really good system. This does have the 12-inch display, which has really good response time. It's really easy to use as well. Like it's just self-explanatory, and I love how it looks in the dash. I love how it's like all integrated. And moving on from that, we got the Pro Trailer Assist, trailer brake controls, and we have our drive line select in this area. So you got your 2-wheel high, 4-wheel auto, and then 4-wheel low with the locker there in the rear. And then this is also the drive mode select. Analog controls for the radio, analog controls for the climate system. This does have dual zone climate, heated and cooled seats, and a heated steering wheel. And then notice you can press that, and then this little piece will cover everything up. We do have a wireless phone charger inside of the truck. Couple cup holders, shifter with, again, the Tremor stitching, and then we got the manual mode. And this particular Tremor does have the whole workbench situation here with the center console, and you guys can see the storage space there. Again, love the stitching on that. And then we do have the dual glove box, which if you guys are wondering, buttons right there to open it up, and then you can see glove box down below. And then as for the dash up here, if I can close the glove box, really nice material use. Again, kind of this is basically the same as like the Raptor interior, if you're wondering. That's kind of what they did with the Tremor. And then we do have the power sliding window in the rear. It's gonna be hard to see up here, but we do have auxiliary switches, so you guys can at least see the coloration on the auxiliary switches. And then this does have a panoramic sunroof, which you guys also can't see. Anyways, let's head over to the Rebel. Now here's a door panel with the Rebel. You can see, again, really nice material use, just like what you have in the back of the Rebel. Got all of our window controls here with the mirrors, and notice those power folded in. Notice these controls don't illuminate like what you have with the Ford. 2 functions for the memory seats, and then you guys can see the mirrors there. They power fold in. Now here are the seats for the Rebel GT. Again, really nice leather. Got the GT logo, perfect leather down the center. And you can see just really nice bolstering. These are the same seats you can get in the Ram TRX. Power adjustments down below, and then the pedals. And look how nice those pedals are. We've got the light controls here with the fog lights and the cargo light, and then our pedal adjustments and the parking brake. And, well, let's pop in and, well, oh, it's got a Hemi. Anyways, here's the steering wheel. We've got perfect leather here on the side, and then really nice smooth leather at the top and at the bottom. Cruise control, this doesn't have adaptive cruise control. Got paddle shifters here for that 8-speed automatic. Controls here for the center stack with the voice command controls, and then there are radio controls here on the back of the steering wheel. Turn signal, windshield wiper stock. And then here for the gauge cluster, it's kind of like a mix between a screen and analog gauges, so it's not full on screen like what you have in the Ford, but just like with the F-150, there's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through to give you different bits of information on the vehicle. Pretty easy to use. We've got our 12 volt up there, and then this one has the 12-inch display, so you've got analog climate controls on either side, radio controls right there. This is for the parking sensors, your tow haul mode, stability control, and then that's for the air suspension. This one just has a backup camera. It doesn't have a full 360 camera system or anything like that. So the Ford definitely wins from a camera system perspective compared to this specific Ram, to be specific. Haha! We still have heated and ventilated seats. That's part of the GT package, and a heated steering wheel as well. Or rather, I should say as wheel. That was horrible. But yeah, that's a 12-inch display. Moving on from that, we've got our 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel low, neutral, 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, axle lock, hill descent control, and our auto stop start. And then we have a wireless phone charger as well. We've got a nice shifter, just like what you have in the Ford. A couple cup holders, and we have a center console with plenty of storage space. Dual glove box. You can see that you've got nice stitching and padding here all over the dash. So really nice material use. Harman Kardon sound system. And you can see it's got a camera mirror, and then power sliding rear window, definitely nice. And then it also has a full panoramic sunroof. Now let's get into the pricing. So the Tremor stickers for about $70,000, and then the Rebel stickers for about $71,000. So they're basically the same price. Now that's pretty much going to sum things up for today's video, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below, after seeing all of the features that both of the trucks have, which one you would rather pick, whether it be the Rebel or the Tremor. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the new owner as well as the Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with this new Tremor. Check out his Instagram in the description down below, and then obviously check out the Ford dealership's inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.